molecular hydrogen for medicine. Oh, it should be a fun episode of Thirsty Thursdays. What's up, everybody? I am Shane McCarthy. I am the H2 Water expert and co-founder of Tech4 Health Products. I'm very excited for all of the really cool stuff that we have going on. Cool technology that's coming out. We have new hydrogen technology that's coming out, and it's a really, really exciting time to be in the hydrogen industry. So thank you for joining me on today's episode of Thirsty Thursdays. Now, I'm also going live on Facebook and LinkedIn through my StreamYard hosting platform, and so we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure if I'll see your comments. If you I can show the comments on stage. That's fantastic. So I have been educating people on molecular hydrogen for over a decade now. I love seeing all of the different studies that have come out. Springer is one of the many resources that publishes a lot of the hydrogen studies. And so when I found out that they had a book called Molecular Hydrogen for Medicine, The Art of Ancient Life Revived, I was an immediate purchaser of this book, and this was actually published in 2017 and then updated in 2020, and I can guarantee you it could go for a lot more updates now. When I first started learning about hydrogen there in 2014 area, there's only about 350 studies. Now there's over 3,000 studies. And so as this beautiful, amazing molecule gets studied more and more, more and more studies will come out on more and more different human disease models and ailments that it can help with. My takeaway from hydrogen really comes down to not just the way that it is an antioxidant and how it reduces oxidative stress. It really is the balance that it helps your body reestablish at a cellular level. I think that's the biggest thing that you can see a benefit from when it comes to hydrogen, because that's going to benefit you in so many different ways. So many of us have lost that balance, and that's why the alkaline diet is huge, because we have an imbalanced pH. But that all comes down to and stems from a cellular imbalance, and so it's one of the things that I do say all the time in my videos, my podcasts, is don't believe a word that research everything that I say. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm just very passionate about helping people reestablish that balance and maintain it, like I have in my life in many ways. And I've done that through hydrogen. In many ways. Of course, there's other things as well, but let's be honest here, folks. When it comes to water and hydration, I mean, you can eat as healthy as you want, but if you don't take care of the hydration aspect of it, you're not even taking care of half of the equation. And when it comes to hydrogen, I think one of the best things that you can do for your health is bring things back to basics. More basic and more simple than hydrogen. And so for me, it just makes sense that it's going to help in as many ways as it does. And now there's so much science that supports why and how it helps, the way it reduces oxidative stress, the places that it can get, the results of what happens when it does reduce oxidative stress, the safety of it. The safety is a big one. I have created a database on tech4health.ca of different hydrogen studies and journals and articles and research for you to, again, research everything that I'm saying. But my favorite aspect, but my favorite component of all those studies is the amount of safety studies that we have that are showing just how safe it is for you to use it as much as you want. You can't overdose from it. I breathe it in all day long. You can't see it on the portrait view of it, but I've got my Tech Pro 3000 clinical series behind me. And I drink it all day long. I bathe my 1.5-year-old son in it all of our inhalation machines from Tech4 Health come with pet masks, so for your dogs to even inhale it. So it is as safe as it can get. And I'm not gonna. The last thing I'm going to say is it's going to cure anything, because it's not what it does. It helps your body allow it to do what it's meant to do. But what I can say is it's safe to try no matter what. There's no contraindications. You can't overdose it on it. You can't have too much of it. It's safe. And so that's, some of the aspects that I really, really love about molecular hydrogen for medicine. But the purpose of today's episode is to go through molecular hydrogen for medicine, which I picked up, like I said. Today I want to read the introduction to you, and then kind of go through the table of contents. We're not going to go through the whole book. Don't worry, this is going to be a science class. But molecular hydrogen medicine is a field of medicine in which physiological actions of molecular hydrogen are utilized for medical purposes. There, molecular hydrogen, H2, is supplied to patients either as hydrogen gas or hydrogen water, aqueous solution of H2, by breathing, drinking, or injection. Now, see, this is another thing that I think we will see a lot more of in the not-too-distant future is studies on hydrogen baths. Gary from Human Garage is massively obsessed with hydrogen baths. I completely understand why. When you drink hydrogen water, it goes into your gut and then into your stomach, and then the hydrogen will work its way to wherever it needs to go. When you inhale it, it goes into your lungs and then right into your blood, and then again it will go wherever it needs to go. When you bathe in it, you're surrounding your entire body. Now, let's remember that your skin is your largest organ. It's your largest detoxing organ. In Gary's case from Human Garage, it's also your largest connection to your largest network of fascia. And so, being able to hydrate your fascia from the outside in and as well as the inside out by breathing and drinking it, all of which you can do with that, plus topically applicating it, so you can apply it through your eyes or ears or our hair and scalp mask as well. And so I think we'll see in the not so distant future a lot more studies on that as well. Some might think that since hydrogen is a major constituent of the human body, the small hydrogen should not cause any significant effects. However, this is not the case. Whereas hydrogen in the body exists exclusively as compounds, so i.e. water, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, etc. Hydrogen in molecular form, molecular H2 for short, is almost non-existent. Therefore, its introduction from outside to small in amounts may produce situations totally unknown to the body. And indeed, as research activities progress, it has come to be recognized that molecular H2 exerts therapeutic and preventive effects on many diseases, including cardiovascular diseases, metabolic syndromes, rheumatoid arthritis, radiation damage, to name a few. The efficacy is far beyond any expectations. Hydrogen exhibits different properties in different body states, and only in the molecular form it exerts these unique physiological effects. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. In part 1 of the book, What is Molecular Hydrogen Medicine? A consistent description of molecular hydrogen medicine is given from its birth in 2007 to the present state and its future prospect, encompassing animal experiments and numerous clinical applications in this young field of research. However, it is essential to make a critical evaluation and selection of existing data. Therefore, the primary aim of Part 1 is not to provide a comprehensive review of existing data, but a presentation of well-scrutinized set of data that delineate the possible extension and in-depth understanding of this area of medicine. Part 2 is tracing the history of life in hydrogen. This is, again, when I said getting back to basics. Hydrogen is the most simple element on the periodic table. It's the smallest molecule in the universe. And so tracing the history of life in hydrogen tries to place molecular hydrogen medicine in the context of the evolution of life from ancient hydrogen age. And it is believed that the first life on Earth originated in the sea, where hydrogen was utilized as an energy source. Subsequently, oxygen was produced by cyanobacteria, and living organisms developed the ability to use this oxygen and then moved on to land. It is unlikely that the memory of the hydrogen era from which life evolved has been completely lost in these processes. Thus, it is believed that in order to understand the functions of the human body, the process of how we have reached the present state after the long history of life must be understood. Such an approach should provide new and exciting research perspectives. Observation of our current form alone, however hard we may try, has its own limitations. In short, I wish to lay out the story of how humans rediscovered the value of hydrogen after our long evolutionary history. I mean, cool to me, because I'm a pretty big fan of time. And the fact that I can now also present, not now, I've been able to present it for a while now. The whole reason I started studying ionized water, electrolyzed reduced water, alkalized water, all that stuff when I was with Kangen, which is how I got my start in this business, was so that I could talk to doctors and scientists, because having the doctors and scientists sign off on it kind of helps things get to market better. And that's why I work with now so many clinicians, physicians, doctors, naturopaths, wellness professionals all around the world, and I am proud of it and look forward to working with so many more, especially with all of the incredible products that I have to offer. So now going to the contents of this book, part one, what is molecular hydrogen medicine? Part one is the power of hydrogen molecules uncovered. Part two, development of molecular hydrogen medicine from the front line of research. So some interviews with some of the more prominent figures in the hydrogen world. Physiological effects of the hydrogen molecules, some fundamental properties of hydrogen and water. Preparation, handling, and usage of hydrogen, very important stuff in there, I guarantee it, because it's while you can't overdose on it, you do need minimum amounts in order to start seeing benefits. Even though you don't need large amounts, you do need a specific minimum. That's something that we take very, very seriously, because the last thing we want to do is sell you a product that allows you to say, hey, I tried hydrogen or hydrogen water and it didn't do anything. Because most people that are saying that haven't actually tried hydrogen. The products that they bought just aren't producing the hydrogen that they should. Functions of heavy water in living organisms and the future of molecular hydrogen medicine. The heavy water, I'm assuming that's going to have something to do with deuterium, another isotope of hydrogen. That should be an interesting one. And then the part two, tracing the history of life and hydrogen, the genesis of life in the world of hydrogen eons ago, drastic changes of life, living organisms in the oxygen age, and since the appearance of humans. So that should be an interesting finishing topic for this book. Very excited to dive more into this. I love that so much. To support everything that I do. You know, I do say a lot of stuff, and again, one of the things that I say is don't believe a word that I say, research everything that I say. I want to leave a positive, lasting impact in this world. I truly believe that I can do that with the products that I have, with the filtration that I have for your water, and then the hydrogen therapy that we can add in after. As I just told my soon-to-be customer, Donna, based in Minnesota, that needs some good water filtration for her home, that has a salted softener that requires a specific type of filtration. And so, you know, this is why I like to have the conversations with people. In that conversation, we were talking about how she asked with the hydrogen bottle. So, any hydrogen bottle, but Hydro Boost V2. And with the hydrogen bottle, can you just use tap water? Like, please, for the love of God, do not use tap water. I don't have a conversation with you about getting hydrogen therapy into your home unless we make sure that you have your filtration taken care of. Because hydrogen in your water will make the water way more bioavailable. It'll absorb into your body quicker. So will everything else that's in the water. The last thing you want to do is make arsenic, fluoride, chlorine, chloramines, pesticides, herbicides, pharmaceuticals, all the garbage that we have in our water more bioavailable. You need to take that out before we even discuss hydrogen water therapy. That is a big aspect to it, and I have many different ways of taking care of that, from shower filters all the way to whole home systems, and some of the absolute best filtration systems you could even ask for your home, for drinking, cooking. One of which can create the same level of hydrogen water that takes this little guy 20 minutes to do. It's 390 milliliters, so about 12, 13 ounces, and it takes 20 minutes to supersaturate water. It's great. It's actually really good for a hydrogen bottle, and this is an amazing bottle. It's something that I take with me on vacation, and it is a great way for people to try out hydrogen, properly try out hydrogen without going all the way in on the machine. But again, 390 milliliters, 39 liters, or 13 pound or so ounces, 20 minutes. With our hydro, after being properly filtered and purified, it will do the supersaturated water at a liter per minute. So 20 times faster and at over twice the flow. And so you really have an unlimited supply of the highest quality hydrogen water that you could possibly ask for right at your fingertips for your whole family. And so Donna will be getting that because she needs that particular filtration because she has a salted water softener. Again, if for such a simple, it's something that makes such simple sense, like you need to hydrate. There is a big conversation around the water and what you wanted to do for you, what you needed to do for you, what you need to do to it. And at the end of the day, just filter your water, because your tap water is garbage. Well and city. There are the odd wells that are okay, but they're at risk for so many other things that often get overlooked. So if you have well water, test the water. But bottled water is all garbage too. Plastic, most of it's just filtered tap water, barely filtered tap water, like you basically have in Brita water. Also, do better than Brita. Brita is going to take the smell of chlorine out of your water for like a week or so. And it's not actually going to remove the chlorine from your water. Scott Verado, I see that you're on the live now. You will be very interested in this book. I actually am going to mention your name and say, Scotty Verado would be very interested in this book, because it brought up the heavy water and the deuterium depleted water, the conversation we've had there before. So other exciting news for me locally. I don't know if you are local to me, if you're watching this on Facebook. I'm not sure if this is getting any sort of traction on Facebook or not, but we have just signed up for and will be at the Ridge Meadows Home Show from May 1st to 3rd. It's one of the biggest home shows in British Columbia. And then on May 9th, we will also be hosted by Vibe House, so the Beauty and Wellness Expo in North Vancouver. Most importantly, though, Sunday, we will be at the incredible and amazing PQA Meadows Fashion Universe class in Vancouver at the Cap. I don't know how to say it properly. Brazil Jiu-Jitsu place. And Sunday morning at 9 a.m. or 9 a.m., 9:30, or we'll be down there nice and early. And we'll have our Tech Pro 3000 with us. We'll have some bottles. We'll have some shower filters. We'll have some tablets. We'll have everything. Everyone needs to take care of their hydrogen and hydration needs. All right, that's it for today. It'll be shorter episode today because my conversation with Donna from Minnesota went a little longer than I had planned on, but not a problem there because it helped her answer the questions that she had. Because my job is to help you make an informed decision for you and your family's health when it comes to your hydration and hydrogen needs. So if you have any questions on this, please comment in the comment section, message me on whichever platform that you are watching this on. I am going to post the live replay or the replay of this on all of the platforms, including I will post this on YouTube so that you can have this information out there for you. I'll go through this book a little bit more next week and then also dive a little bit more into hydrogen baths and see what kind of studies that I can strum up for there. Because I also had a really, really cool conversation with someone yesterday about hydrogen baths. I can confidently tell you that there are so many cool different things that are coming up with hydrogen, and I'm so excited to be at the forefront of all of it with my beautiful and amazing company, Tech for Health, and the brand that I've worked so hard to create over the last decade, H2 Water Expert. We're here to help you and with your hydration, filtration, hydrogen, and hydration needs. That is all for today. I will see you next week, 2 o'clock Pacific, around there, hopefully, for next week's episode of Thirsty Thursdays. Hope you have a good day. Peace.